started to record already, Jose. So let me start by telling you that Maria Jose lived in Germany for a year, a while ago.
A little while ago.
And that since we have to do this for the class, we decided to interview her. So I don't know if you want to start, Jose.
Okay, maybe Maria Jose can tell us about that important experience that she had 1 year ago.
Any experience that you had during that time?
Any experience? That is a very general question. I would appreciate if you don't want me to extend myself to make it a little bit more specific.
Okay, how do you feel when you arrived to Germany?
I was actually really excited because it was a new country and I didn't know it. I had never been there. So I was really, 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 really excited. I didn't even know what it was going to be like until a few days or a few weeks after I arrived. Because at the very beginning, what you have is like the excitement and the hype, the overjoy of knowing something you don't know. So I was really, really happy, and I was really, 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 really excited of being there and trying. I wanted to take over Germany, like try everything and do everything because everything was new.
Okay, it sounds awesome. But do you have any experience in which you get in troubles or feel that maybe you didn't use a correct word or something that you feel like uncomfortable with that experience?
About getting in trouble, I don't think so because you pretty much know the rules. It's Germany, and when you arrive, you have to go to the town hall and you get enrolled in the town, and they let you know about rules and about if you have to pay taxes or not. They let you know about a bunch of things. So about that, not really. And I also had like a host family, and they helped me with that. With the language, yes, because when you're learning, you don't really know sometimes to use the expressions.
Okay.
So that happened, and I'm gonna give you like 2 examples. Like one day we were playing, we were gonna play something, and I wanted to use the blue chip. So I just said, I'm blue. Ich bin blau in German. And that means that I'm wasted.
You're wasted.
So of course I said, I'm blue, and everyone, ich bin blau, and everyone started laughing, and I didn't know what was going on. And then when they explained me that I was saying that I was wasted, well, I started laughing too. But of course my friends knew that I didn't know that. It had been only like a month or 2, so they knew that I didn't know this kind of expressions.
Okay.
And the other example was that we were playing, not charades. What was the other game where you give the hints, like taboo?
Okay.
Taboo. You give the hints for them to guess. And I got the word gift, and gift means poison in Germany.
Really?
Yeah. So since I didn't know what gift was in German, I started to explain the word in English.
Like you were giving away a present.
Like I was giving away a present or something, and they didn't understand. Of course, we wasted the whole minute or whatever it is, and when they saw the word, they started laughing, and then they told me that it meant poison. So that's why they were never going to get it.
Yeah.
And I was doing it in English, so they were never going to get it.
Okay. So just to give you a little bit of background, this class, or for this interview, we have to interview you in regards cultural shock.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why Jose is asking questions about things that might be uncomfortable.
No.
Yeah.
No.
And So, did you have any knowledge of the language, or you were like,
I knew how to say hi, my name is, the colors, the numbers, and that was it.
That was it. Was it useful at least?
Not really, because I had learned it here in a basic course. In a basic course, it is a basic course. You go, the teacher
You know
says something,
nothing.
you repeat, and it's different when you're repeating like a parrot, and then when you're there, because you have to react. You have to have a conversation. It's not a conversation that they give you, and you play either A or B, but you have to actually make it up on your own. So it's very, very different.
That makes sense.
But I had a wonderful host family, and they actually spoke to me in English for like a week or two, and they tried to mix German there, and then they said that I knew enough for me to ask in German, how do you say something? So they put post-its all around the house.
That's cool.
With all the words that I could see. So let's say if I opened the fridge on the outside, it would say cheese, Käse, milk, Milch, Butter, butter, and it would say everything that was inside. So I knew if I was going to ask for something, I could go look for it.
Okay.
And if not, I would ask them. Wie heißt das auf Deutsch? And I would say the word in English. So
Okay.
they would let me know. And mostly my host parents, they would try to explain how could I use it, especially if there was one word or two that would have the same meaning.
Okay. Okay.
And thanks to them, it was easier for me to go to school, and it was easier for me to blend in, to watch TV, to go to the movies, because in Europe in general, everything is in the language. Not a lot is translated. So if you went to the movies were doubled in German.
Okay.
It's not it's in English, and I don't read the
Subtitles.
subtitles, and it's awesome. Only selected theaters would have that. So if
Okay.
I went with my friends out, I would be totally behind the tree.
Lost.
Uh-huh.
Lost in a space. So, what else?
I have a question. I would like to ask something.
Go ahead.
Okay, what about body language that they use? Because, well, I don't know if it's true or not, but I have heard that they didn't express, or that they don't express too much feelings
Body language.
with
Oh,
their
body
body
language.
language.
It's not true.
It's not true.
No, it's not true. It is true that they're not as warm as Latino people are. Like when I was there and I went to Italy, I felt like I had been back to Latin America, because Italian people are more like warm.
They're touchy.
They're touchy, but it does not mean that German people are not expressive.
Okay.
They are, and it's just how they're raised. They would be really polite to you, and they would say hi and everything. But for instance, you only kiss someone really, really close, like your family or your boyfriend. So they wouldn't kiss, but they would come, they would say hi, they would give me their hand, like normal people. My circle of friends at the end, since I gave kisses when I came in, they started giving kisses when they came in, so they knew. Everyone knew who was my friend or in my circle, because they would say hi differently.
Okay.
Even the guys would kiss because they didn't understand the difference.
So they
They would be like Italian in that sense.
Italian and French.
I didn't have the heart to tell them that Latinos didn't.
Yeah, and then they come here and they start kissing all the guys.
They haven't, so it's okay.
It's fine.
They haven't found out.
So, what was the hardest thing? Because you know that Marika's best friend lives in Germany, right? And he says that the hardest part of the thing that he lived was that they used to walk around naked, like his wife's family.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe because of the area, I don't know, or the
it
way
has to
they
be because
yeah.
of the area.
Mhm.
Because in order for you to walk around naked,
Mhm.
it has to be an FKK town.
Interesting. I
You
didn't know
cannot. I didn't live in an FKK town.
that. Okay.
I lived actually in a big city. Big cities usually don't have that.
Mhm.
If usually FKK towns are near the beach or near a beach,
Okay.
that it's
Nude.
FKK. Yeah, FKK means Freie Körperkultur, which is the culture of the free body.
Okay.
That's why they called it like that.
Yeah, he said that once he was having coffee in the kitchen, and then his mother-in-law came all
No,
naked.
I've never had that experience, but
Okay.
in that sense, they're a lot more open
Okay.
or less ashamed of their bodies because they're used to that. Like here, when we have phys ed,
Mhm.
we would change,
Mhm.
but usually, even in school, we would change and we won't shower.
Mhm.
And if we shower, we took everything to the shower
Mhm.
and put everything on, even though we're sweaty and everything, and then we would go out.
Mhm.
Over there, they don't care.
Okay.
So when they're changing for phys ed,
Mhm.
they would just take everything out and then put everything on. And then they would do that again after the class. They would take a shower and walk around naked,
Okay.
and they don't care. And actually, it's really funny. In the winter, the girls would know who was having sex because they would shave.
Okay.
And it was in the middle of winter. Everyone was hairy except Majo, because Majo never lost the Latino part in her that said, "Oh my God, you need to shave," right? Okay, but everyone else would be hairy and bushy.
Nice.
And then a couple weeks later, she would come all cleaned up, and you're like, "Oh my God, you did have sex yesterday, right?"
Okay. So, what
And
was
it's
like
funny.
the hardest thing to get used to?
The hardest thing that it was, I guess, and for me, how stupidly punctual they are.
Oh yeah.
If they said 8, it's 8. Even the buses. So if the bus says that it comes at 7:10, if you come at 7:10 around the corner, you will see it leave.
Interesting. That's cool. I like it.
Yeah, that part was good because you knew that you were not going to be late. If the train was late or if the bus was late, it was because there was an accident or something. But usually that doesn't happen. And with people at the beginning, I mean, we're used to Costa Rican time. They tell you 8, you arrive at 9:15, at least, if not later.
The
Yeah.
Tico time.
Take the time.
Tico time, right? So it took me a while because they would tell me that the party was at 7 or the dinner was at 6:30, and I would arrive half an hour later. So I was already late, like really, really late. And they told me 6:30, so if I arrived at 7, they would be already in the middle of the entree.
They wouldn't wait for you.
They wouldn't wait for you. They wait for you like 5-10 minutes just in case there was an accident or something happened. But since they're used to that everything is so on time, like they knew I didn't have a car.
Mhm.
So if I came with the bus, with the train, with the trolley, with anything, I would have to be on time. So they wait for me like 5-10 minutes, and half an hour later they had already ordered
Okay.
or it started.
Cool. Did it help? Like, are you more punctual now?
It helped, and when I came back, I was more punctual. But you already get used to Costa Rican time again. So I already arrived like half an hour, 40 minutes later again.
Jose, do you have any other question?
Well, also I would like to know if you are continue practice any cultural any cultural
Activity?
activity?
Mhm.
Yes, that you practice in Germany and then you are continue practice here in Costa Rica.
What I do is like every year I go to the Oktoberfest
Mhm.
or the Expo Alemania because they do have German activities. My nieces are in the Humboldt-Schule, so I help them with their homework and stuff for me not to forget, even though I have forgotten a little bit of the English of the language. And I do speak with my host family still. I actually went to my sister's wedding um, a couple years ago. So it's really funny how people say that everything is like learning to ride a bike. And it is. Like, I guess being immersed in the country makes it easier. But when I go over there, it takes me a day or two and I start speaking as good German as I had when I was living there. And if I start to speak to you right now, I probably would get stuck and everything because I'm not there.
Yeah, but we wouldn't notice.
You wouldn't notice, but another person would. I mean, it's funny.
Okay.
So yeah, and I try to watch German movies, not German TV, because I'm not really good with following a series. You know that if I skip 2, 3, 4 weeks, yeah, blah, blah, yeah. So I try to watch movies.
Was it difficult at any point? Like, did you want to come back at any point?
It
Like,
was, but it was really funny because you start missing stuff
de gallo pinto.
like yeah, like food, or when you talk to your friends and they tell you something and you're like, oh my god, I'm missing that,
Mhm.
right? So that is hard because you want to be there,
Mhm.
but you also at the same time don't want to leave
Mhm.
where you're at. It's like you wanted to be at both places at the same time.
Okay. Makes sense.
So it is a different kind of mal de patria.
Mhm. Homesick.
That's
Homesickness.
The worst thing is that I thought the word in German.
You should try. Maybe we get it. Jose?
When you're, I guess it's different that when you leave for good,
Mhm.
it's different the amount of homesickness
Mhm.
or the level of homesickness that you
Mhm.
get as when you know that you're coming back.
Yeah, because
So
you're
that
not an
happens.
expat. You're gonna be there just for a while, right? Mhm.
And I know I'm coming back. So even though
Sooner or later.
you're homesick,
Mhm.
you know that eventually you will be coming back.
Mhm.
If it makes sense, I became more homesick when I came back because I didn't know when I was going back to Germany.
Okay.
So I knew that I was going to miss my friends, and I knew that I was going to miss my school. I'm going to miss my host family. I'm going to miss everything that it was there, even the freaking punctuality of the bus. But I didn't know when I was going to see it again.
Yeah.
When I was there, I missed it, but I knew that in 6 months or 4 months or 3 months, I was going to see it again.
Yeah. True.
And just in case, there's another funny thing. They tell you that when you're learning a new language and you're immersed there, that you know when you know the language because you start thinking and dreaming in that language.
Yeah.
It is true.
It is true. Yeah.
It is true. And the first
Jose,
time,
do you dream in English? Because I do.
Yes.
the first time that it happens, it kind of freaks you out. Because you're like, oh my god, and I'm not watching TV, and they're not talking to me, and I'm doing it on my own.
I remember when I was in Canada, so I lived in Montreal for a while too, Jose, and it happened to me that it was French and English, and so I was buying something, and I heard this woman speaking Spanish. I was like so damn happy, and I went running like, hola, ¿cómo está? I looked like I was like a kind of a pirate. I wanted to speak Spanish so bad.
I had an Argentinian friend, and we would speak in Spanish.
Uh-huh.
But the thing is, she had the same experience as I did, right? So she would speak to me in Spanish, but if she didn't know something, she would throw the word in German, like we do sometimes with the Spanglish, right? And I would understand, so the conversation would be really smooth because we would understand. And I didn't even notice if she would throw a word in English or in German. And then when I came back and I did the same thing, I was like, fuck, what don't I remember that? I mean, you know, the thing that you use to sit on, it has 4 legs and it's usually wooden, you know? And they were like, a chair. Yes, a chair. That's it. You would forget stupid words like that.
Awesome.
Because you used some other thing, so it's really funny. Even when you find your Spanish or your mother language buddy, it happens.
Yep. Jose, do you have any other question?
Okay, my last question it will be like, which will be your advice for someone who is going to have his or her first experience in another country?
Try
For
everything.
example,
Try
an advice when someone is going to go to Germany.
Just try everything. Don't be afraid. Try everything. It's that's it. Try everything. I mean, it's just sometimes we don't experience a lot of the culture of a place because we're the ones setting the obstacle or setting the limit. Like when you go to China and then they ask you to eat, I don't know, rat or whatever.
I'm not eating dog.
They're not going to feed you a rat off the street. It's going to be a farm-grown rat, right? So it's going to be different. It's going to taste different. I'm not going to ask you to like it, but at least try it.
Try it. Yeah.
Like last week I was in Mexico on a business trip, and they gave us...
Did you try crickets?
No.
You didn't try crickets?
No, they didn't offer.
Oh.
But they gave us a taco of bone marrow.
What's the...
Bone marrow. Bone? The marrow? La médula ósea. Exactly, that was the face. But they brought it. I grabbed the piece. I tasted it.
I didn't like it.
Very interesting. Who wants? And I passed it on, and that was it.
Was it like yellow?
No, it's actually no.
Is it liquid or
No,
how does it look?
it has the consistency of mondongo, like that jelly kind of thingy.
Yummy.
It's
Sounds
kinda
delicious.
Beige. It's kind of beige or cream. It doesn't look that awful. It's just because you know. And they tell you, es un taco de tuétano. And you're like, okay, what is it? Tuétano. And then when a mí me pasó así. When it was already half the way, they tell, okay, it's bone marrow. And I'm like, fuck. Because it was already on the way to my mouth. But I did try it. I believe that you should try it. You don't have to like it, but you can try it. Like,
I did that with the guinea pig, like in Peru. I tried it, and it was like, it tastes like garlic, but I just tried it. Manrique ate it all.
it's the thing. It's that thing. And when they like the spicy candy,
But that's good.
there are some that I liked and some that I didn't. I liked the tamarindo ones.
You couldn't try the ones that were made of pineapple.
No, I didn't try them all, but I tried also the mango ones, and the mango ones I didn't like.
'Cause no one likes anything with mango. It's just the mango itself, just the fruit.
I don't know. I know, but I didn't. I tried it. I didn't like it, but I could eat the the tamarindo ones like candy.
Like candy.
Even though they're spicy, they're
very
good.
spicy. They're good. So I think it's my last question is, what is it? Well, do you think it changed you in any way?
It did.
It did. How? And that's not my last question. I have another one. Sorry.
How did it change? I don't know if it makes sense, but it kind of makes you see life differently. And I believe that makes you more mature and open-minded.
Agreed.
If I had stayed here, I probably wouldn't have the same world vision that I have right now.
Okay. And what is it that you miss the most from Germany?
Besides the people,
Besides the people, yeah. Like a cultural thing, activity, or something that you liked, like really, really, really liked.
something that I really, 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 really like.
Sausages. The freak.
No, no, not sausages.
What is it that you eat? Every time that you go to the Oktoberfest, you eat something that you like. Yeah, sausages.
It's
yeah.
sausage, but that's not the one. I think I miss my mom's cooking, my host mom's cooking,
Okay.
because I had a mom who cooked, not one who bought everything.
Okay.
But I miss, there are a few things that you cannot get here, even in the Oktoberfest. Like they have a sunflower bread
Mm-hmm.
that it was my favorite in the world, and when I go over there, I probably bring back my butt full of sunflower bread because it's a different kind of dough, it's a different kind of ingredients and everything. So there are a few things that you eat that you cannot get them here.
Okay. Jose, do you have any other question?
No,
No?
no, I do have it.
Okay, so we're good. Thank you, Majo.
Bueno,
Thank you. I really appreciate your time.
you're welcome.
Bye, Jose.
Bye.